Hidden Habits of Highly Effective People. A book that has been popular for more than 3 decades is summarized for everyone to understand and use as a basis for thinking to help change negative mindsets and negative habits and move towards progress in life again. The book is titled in English as Covey, Habits of Highly Effective People, written by a famous author, Stephen R. Covey. You may have read another famous book written by Sean Covey, who is the son of Stephen R. Covey, right? That book also has a similar name to this book, Covey Habits of Highly Effective Teens. The book written by his son is also a bestseller, selling over 3 million copies because it has helped change the mindset of many young people around the world and help them succeed in life as well as in school. In short, Sean Covey, who is the son, wrote the book, Covey Habits of Highly Effective Teens, to change the lives of young people. His father, Stephen R. Covey, wrote the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, to change the mindset and destiny of the average adult. It has become one of the most inspiring and influential books that has changed the lives of millions of people around the world. This ancient book shows a valuable and principled approach to solving personal and professional problems. It is a great book, and the principles in this book should be understood by many Cambodians to help provide the right path to develop themselves towards a happy and successful life. With deep insight and perspective, Stephen R. Covey presents a step-by-step path to living in accordance with the principles of justice, integrity, and dignity, because he firmly believes that these principles provide us with the wisdom, power, and security to adapt to constant change and to benefit from the changes in this world. Stephen R. Covey also believes that we all see the world entirely from our own perspective, so in order to change a situation, we must first change ourselves. And in order to change ourselves, we must first learn to change our mindset or perspective. In short, in order to change a situation, we must first dare to change our mindset or perspective. Most people have a desire for happiness, joy, honor, wealth, or financial freedom, but few people realize that achieving these desires is all about creating habits in themselves. Hard work, ingenuity, waking up early, and saving money all come from practicing and training to become habits. Successful people, wealthy people, and people who achieve great things have all gone through continuous effort, training, and struggle, and have created habits in themselves that determine their destiny. Habits are the topic that we will study and explore together today. Below, I will share the 5 habits of outstanding people, in which we observe that the first, second, and third habits emphasize overcoming oneself, changing one's mindset or perspective, and stopping being a coward who likes to depend on others and becoming an independent and self-reliant person. The 4th, 5th, and 6th habits emphasize developing the ability to work in a team, learn to cooperate, and strengthen communication skills better by changing oneself from an independent, self-reliant person to a more tolerant, helpful, and communicative person. And finally, the 7th habit is a habit that will help you gain energy and freshness regularly so that you can continue to practice and strengthen the implementation of the 6 habits regularly and consistently. What is a habit? A research paper published by Duke University in the United States shows that 40 to 94% of the actions we do each day are not made through decisions, but rather are formed into habits that we have gradually developed over time. Most people think that we all have the power to control the actions we take. This may be partly true, but not entirely true, because the one behind us and the power to control our actions is actually this habit. A habit can be any action, or way of thinking that we have done over and over again for a certain period of time until we start doing the same thing unconsciously, without effort, without thinking much, and this habit can save a lot of our brain energy. But if you have good habits, the right habits, it doesn't matter, because it can make your life happy and progress forward. But if you have bad habits, your life will be full of troubles, weaknesses, and hundreds of problems will happen to you. This bad habit is very easy to develop, just like the weeds that grow in our garden. It is different from good habits that are like flowers that require regular care, fertilizer, and watering so that they can bloom and be a source of joy for everyone. Many activities are considered bad activities, and if you continue to do them for more than 21 days, they will definitely become your bad habits. For example, if you have the habit of interrupting others, every time someone is explaining something to you, you have not yet heard what they are saying, and your actions seem like you know everything, know what they want to tell you. Such actions are not good, And if you allow such actions to continue, soon you will definitely have this bad habit. No matter what the reason is or what they want to tell you, they have not finished talking. Your habit of interrupting others will definitely increase. There are many other activities that are considered bad habits that you should avoid and not let them happen to you again and again for more than 21 days or 66 times, such as the habit of playing on your phone, playing Facebook 1 hour before going to bed, etc. This bad habit has a huge impact on your sleep and health that you don't know and don't care about. In addition, Stephen R. Covey found that we look at the outside world not through its truth, but through the mindset we have inside ourselves. This is a fact that we cannot deny. For example, when we don't like, hate, get angry, or resent someone, we will always look at that person through the mindset we have about that person. It seems that we are looking at the outside world through our own mirror, which has scratches, and it makes us understand that the outside world is not beautiful, dirty, without you knowing that it is actually a stain on our window. Negative thinking habits or a mindset that is prone to being suspicious of others has a huge impact on how we view the outside world and has a huge impact on our lives. Therefore, creating new, positive habits in life is like creating a new, clear map of your life, and it will give you back joy and a life that is on the path to success in the future. Did you know that our human mind operates in 2 main domains? 1. Concern domain. 2. Influence domain. Let's turn to understand the functioning of the mind in the concern domain a little. The concern domain here refers to any situation that has occurred and we cannot change or modify it, such as a flood that has caused the loss of human lives, animals, and damage to both private and public property, etc. This situation occurred without our control and we cannot prevent it. On the other hand, the influence domain refers to any situation, problem, or opportunity that has occurred, and you can influence or intervene to change the situation. Even if it is not complete, you can help change some parts of the entire situation. Turning to our case study, we observe that some people like to operate their minds in the concern domain, as if they were Coca-Cola drinks. They only shake it a little and it bubbles up and disappears, and they only think about worries, concerns, and fears. They do not try to find solutions, correct the situation or problem to return to the good, but only drift along according to fate and luck. But there are also some people who like to operate their minds in the domain of influence. They understand, trust, do not react quickly due to lack of reason. They try to understand cause and effect and ask themselves what they can do to make the situation better or not make it worse. They have the habit of looking for opportunities in events to create a positive impact. In order not to waste much time, let's explore the preventive habits of great people as follows. Habit 1, proactive habit. We are the only people who can determine the destiny of our lives by ourselves. We must be responsible for every decision or choice we make. We must be active people, active in the right actions to be taken and to follow through. Do not be people who wait to be told, to be ordered all the time. Be thoughtful, and smart in all tasks and be consistent. What makes us humans different from animals is our innate ability to think about how we should act, how we should organize our behavior to respond appropriately to any situation and achieve high efficiency. Our human state of mind is always exposed to 2 types of situations. 1. Situations that make us happy, joyful, situations that make us angry, agitated, etc. Let's look at some of the things that can make us happy, joyful, and smile without closing our mouths, such as when someone praise us, pay attention to us, give us compassion, value us, agree or support our ideas, speak well of us, praise us, etc. And specifically, situations that make us angry and upset are like when someone blame or humiliate us, don't care about us, hate or envy, harm us, look down on us, oppose and do not support our ideas, gossip about us behind our backs, criticize, humiliate us, etc. For reactive, aggressive, and light-hearted people, whenever their state of mind is exposed to a happy situation, they always react with joy, pride, arrogance, looking down on others who are smaller than them, etc. And when their state of mind is exposed to a situation that causes anger, they start to get angry, hot-tempered, angry, blaming themselves, using inappropriate language, or accusing others with anger, etc. On the contrary, For people who are serious, not aggressive, or we can call them proactive, when their state of mind is exposed to a happy situation, they will also be happy. But when their state of mind is exposed to a situation that causes anger, they can learn from that situation and can grow from that situation. They do not react, but instead they have developed the habit of responding correctly by thinking carefully, which is not a reaction based on emotion or anger. Stephen Covey also mentioned the 90-10 principle, which states that the results of our lives are determined by only 10% of the events or situations that occur outside of us, while the other 90% is determined by our reactions or responses to the events that occur. This means that we determine, control, and manage 19% destiny. Therefore, creating the first habit, the habit of being a proactive person, will make you a person who can determine your own destiny, and you will not allow anyone or anything else to determine your destiny. Habit 2. Start with the end goal in mind. Have you all noticed, like me, that some of us are so busy day after day that they can barely find time to rest? But if we ask them what they hope and expect from the work they do every day, from dawn to dusk, to the results they expect to come back to them in some form, they don't know. They just know how hard they work. Indeed, it is not easy for each person to succeed and reach their desired goals. If they do not envision, set goals, and set an action plan to achieve them within a specific period of time, it is no different from a boat that is drifting without an island or shore, tossed by the wind, and will eventually drift to a place that is not their desired destination. Therefore, you need to create a habit of visualizing the destination you want to reach. What kind of experiences do you want your life to be filled with? How do you want this story of your life to end? Do you want to live a life of dependence on others for the rest of your life? Or do you want to be able to help more and more people? What legacy do you want to leave for future generations? It's no different from the old Khmer saying, when you set sail, you must look away. Habit 3. What is important and urgent to do first? When you try to sort a few large and small stones, a few pebbles, and about 200 grams of sand into a large bottle, you will understand that arranging the items first and last is important to ensure that all of them can be sorted into the bottle. If you try to pour 200 grams of fine sand into the bottle first, then pour in the small pebbles, then the small stones, and finally the large stone, you will see that the entire bottle cannot hold all of them. But if you try putting the largest rock first, then the smallest, then the largest, then the smallest, and finally you pour 200 grams of sand in, you will find that the entire bottle can hold all the items and there is still some space left for some more sand. Stephen Covey shared 4 quadrants that can help you decide which things are very important or necessary to do first, and which tasks should be done later or not done at all, because they can cause unnecessary loss of time. Quadrant more, things that are important and urgent must be done first and done immediately without delay. Quadrant 2, things that are important but not urgent can be done at any convenient time. Quadrant B, things that are not important but urgent, you do not have to do it yourself. You can assign someone you trust to do it for you. Quadrant 4, things that are not important and not urgent, you can forget about them. To avoid wasting time in vain. Habit 1. Think win-win. Creating a win-win habit here does not mean that it has to be an equal division of benefits, such as 50-50. In fact, every problem has a solution, a way out, but because people are selfish by nature, that is why they think about finding a solution that benefits them more and is fair to each other. Trying to think only based on the scale or standard that they have in mind, without the spirit of sacrifice or sharing, some gain, some lose, only know. That is why it is difficult for them to reach a good solution. Not only that, in some situations, they let their greed dominate and create the following 5 negative mindset scenarios that you should absolutely avoid. The 5 scenarios are 1. Win-lose, 2. Lose-win. Win alone. Non-cooperative have negative thoughts leading to the 5 scenarios above. They will find it difficult to find a way to a win-win solution. Therefore, in order to achieve a win-win solution for all, the following 5 scenarios are required. 1. Point integrity, must honor promises and commitments together. 2. Maturity of ideas, have courage, dare to tell the truth, dare to be wrong and right, know how to listen to others' opinions, and know how to understand others. B. Think of diversity, look for the greater good. Don't be afraid to give up your own opportunities for the sake of the common good. Focus on finding a common solution. 4. Relationship and trust. 2 points can help push you to a better outcome. Pshemdet, agreement. When the 4 points above are met, the 5th point will automatically work, and both parties will get a good solution, a win-win solution. Habit. Learn to understand others first. Before you want others to understand you, have you ever wondered why some things happen, the same story, but people have different perceptions and evaluations? This is because they do not pay attention to listening to each other's reasons well, with respect, with passion. This is why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. This means that we should listen more than we talk. When we open our hearts to listen to others with respect and appreciation, we will hear their information completely, understand their reasons, know what they want, how they understand, which is why we can find common ground or a good solution for both sides. But what happens when a tense situation comes? Each person argues for their own, does not listen to the information or reasons of the other party clearly and completely, only thinking about their own feelings and reasons, and will interrupt and respond to them without listening to them completely and comprehensively. Each person tries to push and explain to the other party to understand a picture from their own perspective, which only themselves can see. Ask how we can understand each other. Habit, promoy. Synthesis in nature, we often observe 2 elements, or many are synthesized together to expand the scope or effectiveness of something. For example, the female element must be synthesized with the male element to create many forms of life on this earth. And if we look at the diversity of our human thoughts, the diversity of ideas, the creativity, if we can filter and synthesize only the good and excellent elements from all those different and diverse ideas, we will get a good and comprehensive idea that can serve all trends and all parties, and this will encourage better cooperation because everyone feels ownership of the common idea. Habit from fee shaving. You have probably heard a lot about the story of the woodcutter who said that if he had to chop all the wood in 1 hour, he would need 3 hours to shave his beard. It is no different from our lives. This story shows us that sometimes we only think about wanting the result to be this way or that way, wanting a life like this or that, etc., but we never take the time to develop ourselves, change our mindset, and try new things and new activities. In fact, in order for our lives to be full of joy and create new achievements, you should know how to find some appropriate time to adjust your life. The life that needs to be adjusted here is known physically, by eating the right food, providing enough energy to the body, having enough time to rest, and having time to exercise for health regularly. P. Mentally. Learning new knowledge through reading, listening, watching, or meditating, educating the mind well, etc., etc. That's when your heart and feelings begin to feel happy, relieved, refreshed, satisfied, and think that your life is valuable. By mentally, you must find the value of life, the meaning of life, the mission of life, or the purpose of your life to see what you live on this earth for. After you have found the value and mission of your life, you must dare to make a decision to fulfill your emotional service that is consistent with your life goals, energetically and without regret. In conclusion, if you can create these prevent good habits, your life will change and be happy, and success will surely come to you at some point in the future. You will also become a person who knows the true value of life, a person who is rational and dares to face and solve all the problems that arise in life with an optimistic mind. In your family, there is only laughter and laughter, full of happiness because you are a person who is understanding, easy to talk to, solve family difficulties with confidence and high responsibility. This will affect the community you live in through a good example as a social cell with values and to be proud of.